You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. This is episode number 324. And yes, folks, I am in my car again. Okay. I'm going to be doing this probably for the next 2 to 3 episodes, and this time it's going to be different. I got a lot of positive feedback from the last episode in the car, which I think had to do with me not having anything on in here, and it sounded pretty good if I do say so myself. But the difference is now it is hot. It was hot then, but I just happened to get lucky on that night, and it was a cool night. But I wasn't so lucky this time. So I'm in here now with the AC on. Of course, I cannot sit in here without the AC in Texas heat. That's a major no-no out here in these Texas streets. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to do my best to edit out the AC and all of that, and hopefully it comes out just as good as the last podcast. But yeah, going to be doing this. Like I said before, guys, the reason behind all that is because I get complete privacy in here. I don't get anybody coming out. And when you have kids, there's no rules. They'll come out. It does not matter. My daughter's still awake. My son's still awake. And even if you tell them, hey, I need you guys to be quiet, I'm doing this, doing that, they'll try their best. But then their memory they have short-term memory. It'll last for a second, and then they'll forget what you said to them. And that's just how it goes. So that's where I'm at with that, guys. I'm in here. School starts back in August. So early August, I think August 10th. So we'll be back to our regular scheduled program here within the next couple of weeks, because we're putting him back on his sleeping regimen about 10 days before school starts. So right around the 1st of August, 2nd of August, he'll start back going to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then there we'll have it. So I'll be able to go back to my original format, which everybody's sleep by 9. That's usually before I even get home. I usually get home around 11 o'clock. When I get home, everybody sleep and I can get started immediately on the show. So that's cool. Looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But anyway, that's where we're at. Today's podcast is going to be a little interesting. I don't have a lot to discuss this week, but I do have a little bit of some news, Sony related, of course. And I do have another announcement to make. And it's concerning a game that I never thought I'd be playing and never thought I'd be excited about in the first place to play it. I'll get to that all in the show. First, I want to start out with some news, though. And I guess I'll start with Mortal Kombat 1, okay? This game keeps on surprising me, guys, over and over and over again. I'm very excited to play this, not necessarily for the original characters, which that is also something to be excited about. and them doing this whole restart, hitting this refresh button on the whole IP and everything like that, taking it back to day one. That's cool and that's awesome. But the thing that's got me really excited about this is the DLC characters, man. The DLC characters are crazy in Mortal Kombat 1. They're going to be crazy. And these have been confirmed. Okay. Now I remember talking about one of these characters, if you guys don't remember, some weeks back. And one of the characters I was really excited to hear that was going to be in here was going to be Homelander. All right. I love that character from the show, The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys on Amazon, yo, it's a banger. If you like your superhero movies, but you like a dark tone with a super dark twist to it, this is definitely going to be right up your alley, man. I'm telling you, it's savage. Okay. Now, another show that surprised me, and this is an animated show, which is, typically if it's not anime, it doesn't really get me excited. But this was a character called, what's it called? Invincible. Okay. Another show. I think this is from Amazon as well. Awesome fucking animated show, man. This is also a dark anime or animation show. I don't call it anime because this is not, I don't consider this in the anime realm. It is animated, but it just is different. It's more Americanized or whatever, more Western, but it's just super dark and bloody and all of that. And there's a character that goes by who happens to be the father of the Invincible, which is like the main hero of the whole show, is a guy called Omni-Man. And this is my favorite character in that show. Okay. He is a savage. He's from another planet, and they're all savages from that planet, man. But yeah, you got to watch that as well. Definitely. I think season 2 is right around the corner as well. It's close. I think it's coming out soon. So I'll keep you guys posted on that when that gets really, really close, but definitely something you should check out as well. But anyway, it's got him in the game now. He's been announced for the game. And then I didn't even know that Peacemaker was also going to be in this game. Peacemaker, I think, is a character from the DC universe, if I'm not mistaken. I think John Cena played him in one of the DC movies. I think he was also in one of the Suicide Squad movies. But yeah, he's definitely a crazy over the top character as well. And the Suicide Squad is kind of like on the darker side of the DC universe and stuff that they put out. So if you're into like a lot of the dark stuff like me, personally, when it comes to my games, when it comes to just my anime and everything I consume, you would definitely get a kick out of all of these here. If you haven't seen the shows, you're missing out major, major shit. If you did see the shows, you know these characters, you know what I'm talking about, and you should be rubbing your hands together like Birdman when Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, because I know I am, and I can't wait to play these characters. Omni-Man is going to be crazy. Homelander is going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what they do with these guys. I'm wondering if they're going to have the actual voice actors doing these characters as well. Most likely they will. We'll see what happens with that, because Mortal Kombat is known for trying to go that extra mile with some of these characters, man, and putting them in the game. So I'm just so excited for Mortal Kombat 1 now, really about this DLC. Now, I don't have any information on the DLC when it's coming out. So I'm not going to get too excited, because the game still has to come out, and the DLCs usually come out later. So months after the game is released. So that's something to just kind of like temper your expectations on that. So, and they're probably going to do it to keep it fresh. You hit everybody hard with Mortal Kombat 1. They always have amazing stories in their games, and they're going to hit us with that. I know we're going to get a good story and enjoy the actual game for a while. And then when it starts to taper off, then they'll hit us with that DLC, and then they'll pump new life, give us an adrenaline shot, and then we're back in the mix, man. And I can't wait for that. So yeah, definitely look forward to playing that. And I can't wait for these characters. Anyway, I thought I'd share that information. Anyway, let's move on to the next piece of information here. And this revolves Red Dead Redemption. Okay. Now, these rumors I wouldn't even call them rumors anymore. Okay. Apparently, they're working on a remake for Red Dead Redemption. And it's supposedly from a leaker. He's saying that this is 100%, his words, 100% going to happen. And he's actually put out other things, other information, and it's all hit. I can't think of what he put out, but it's like 3 or 4 other things he gave us, and they all fucking hit. Okay. He had no fumbles. And he's saying that this is 100% accurate, man. He even said that the company was throwing out fake information to try to bait out the real leakers inside or within the company. So he's saying that this is going to be coming out sometime, I want to say what, in October or November, okay, of this year. All right. So I'm thinking remake. I'd be happy with a fucking remaster. All right. But no, it's not even going to be remastered. It's going to be a remake. Something kind of, think of what they did with The Last of Us, basically. Take the same engine, everything's all good, and I mean, everything has a fucking super fresh coat of paint on it. All right, so none of the mechanics are going to change or anything like that, none of the animations. Now, usually when I think of remakes, some of that ends up changing, all right? But with The Last of Us, it didn't. That's what kind of surprised me, because I assumed that when they announced The Last of Us, that a Last of Us remake, that, oh, we're going to get the same engine that we got that we got from The Last of Us 2, because The Last of Us 2 was made on PS4 initially, and this is coming out for the PlayStation 5. So I was like, okay, we should definitely get that engine, and we did not get that engine. All right. All they did was they took the same engine that they had from the first game, and they basically gave it a super fresh coat of paint. That's what they did. And I could argue, one could even argue that, hey, if you look up The Last of Us Remastered and you hold it up against The Last of Us remake, there's some slight differences here, but it's not a game changer to the point where you'd say, okay, unless you're a super fan like me, which I am, you would say, oh, okay, let's push play on that. Let's make that happen. And I'm going to buy it, but I'm not buying it full price. I said I was going to get it. I am a fan, and I'll get it when I can get it for like $20. Until then, I will not touch that, because they're taking away stuff, and it's a different case. It's definitely its own case, because The Last of Us came with factions, and you didn't get factions with the last version of that game. So there's a lot going on there, but that's for another discussion. But I'm talking about Red Dead Redemption now. They had some cool DLCs. One I never got a chance to play, which was the zombie DLC. So I'm wondering if they're going to add that stuff in there. You would think that they would, but we'll see, because I was about to buy Red Dead Redemption when it goes on sale on Xbox. Okay, so I'm wondering if they're going to take that down because this is coming out, or I hope not. I mean, they shouldn't, but we'll see, because that's the only place I know other than play, because you can't get it on PlayStation 3, because you can only stream those games, and I don't even think they're streaming that. So Xbox is where Xbox wins on that end is, hey, you can actually buy a lot of these games that came out during the PlayStation 3 era that were third-party games. That's the cool thing. Xbox, you can easily make your stuff backwards compatible. But Sony PlayStation, the way their architecture was done, it was done so that to prevent hackers and all this other stuff, but they kind of overdid it. Okay. They kind of painted themselves into a wall, because now people want PlayStation 3 titles and we're not able to get them. So that's the reason. All right. So that's where I stand on that. I'm excited for this either way, because in my opinion, I think that the first Last of Us game, not Last of Us, the first Red Dead Redemption game was better than Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't want to ruffle any feathers or anything like that, but that's just my opinion on it. But hey, everybody has their own opinion on all that stuff. So I'll leave that there. But yeah, that's some information, guys. So definitely be looking out for news and announcement coming up soon. Supposedly there's going to be some sort of announcement in August, and that's going to give us some information on this game. All right. I know a lot of people are waiting for the big macaroni, okay, over at Rockstar Games. And that's, of course, that's Grand Theft Auto 6. And I would not get your expectations too high on that, because they said from known lips that game is not coming out, easily not coming out until probably 2025, guys. Okay. So definitely don't get excited for that. They're milking 5 right now. They're killing it with 5. They're making billions of dollars on 5. So if it was me and I was doing that, I'm not rushing the next game, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be able to make everything about 6, the best of the best. That's the issue when you have a game so big and so prosperous, like a GTA 5. What are you going to do the next game? I mean, you got to go above and beyond. And how are you going to do that? Because I think these guys have done every fucking thing possible that I can think of in a game. And now they're going to come out with another installment. So I think that's the reason why they're taking so long to get this done, because they want to see if they can outdo themselves. And this is Rockstar Games, so we know who they are. They hold themselves to a high standard. I do, as many of you guys probably do as well. They create nothing but pretty much bangers. I mean, everything they fucking touch is pretty much a certified hit. I mean, very few games that I can think of that wasn't the case. They've done so many awesome games, man. The Warriors, they've done some just dope games with dope stories and all of that. So I'm a big fan of theirs, and I hope that they do this right. And I think that they will. And most fans are like, yo, we want it, but hey, we want it done right. Okay. So I think they're going to do that justice, and we'll get there when we get there. All right. Now I want to talk a little bit about this PlayStation Pro. Yes, I got more PlayStation news for you. Not a lot, just a taste. But PlayStation has confirmed there is a fucking PlayStation Pro. Okay, out here. PS5 Pro out here. Okay, the dev kits are already out. Most of these companies have received the dev kits, and they're doing their thing with it right now. And apparently this is going to be dropping around November 2024. So I guess get your popcorn ready, because that's when it's coming. And now they promise that this is going to be, this is going to be at least 60 frames. That is going to be the starting point, and up to 8K. Okay. Now, look, this is kind of bittersweet for me, because this is the same shit that they were promising, and this goes for Xbox as well, these specs on these games this generation. Okay. And it's not happened. All right. A lot of these games we've talked about it on the show, man. A lot of these games are coming out 30 frames, man. Okay. Or they're giving you an option to, you can play 30, in high def, or you can go 60 frames and, it's not going to be as good. All right. So it's a lot of that going on with these consoles. And I think that a lot of them aren't going to get it right until the tail end of the console's life cycle, when they can finally get in there and dig in there. And that also goes for a lot of these studios as well, because there's a lot of lazy studios, or studios who don't want to go past a certain time frame on a game when they make it. There's a certain budget. They want to stay within that budget, and they don't want to, pay for more resources in time, that it might take to make these titles, right? So they'll give you a game name, and they'll say, hey, you got a year and a half on this. Just get it done. You throw a team on it, and then boom, that's what you do, right? That's a lot of what goes on behind the scenes in a lot of these companies. But you do have those who say, you know what? We're not like any other company. We're not trying to be like any other company. I can give you a perfect example of that is Naughty Dog. All right. All you have to do is check out fucking The Last of Us 2 on PlayStation 4, and you'll understand what I'm fucking saying. All right. They got the shit right, and they made sure they were going to get the shit right. You can also do the same thing for the creators who did the God of War game, 2018. Same thing. PS4, no hiccups, no fumbles. That shit ran buttery smooth. Okay. But that's the results you get when you have studios who actually have time to do what they need to do. There's no stipulations. There's nobody breathing down their back, and they can put their best players and best people on these games and get the shit done right the first time. Okay. None of that backtracking, none of that No Man's Sky shit, none of that redemption story shit, with the redemption made butter and all of that on shelves in a lot of these stores. None of that. We don't have to worry about that. So it's a hit or miss type of thing, because we're going to see some games that are going to come out and are going to blow our fucking minds, and are going to be able to do the things that they said that these consoles were going to be able to do now. But, everybody's not operating like that. Everybody's not moving like that. And you just have to understand that from a technical aspect, if you're expecting every game to be that because you read it in an article or you heard them say it. Being in this kind of business, and just being a gamer my whole life, and just studying it and just being in loop all the time with it, you pick up things, you see things, you find out things, more technical stuff, and how things work behind the curtain and you really understand what that is. But the average consumer doesn't understand that. They're not even thinking about that type of stuff, right? They're just saying, oh, well, they said. There's a lot of that goes on in these corporations and these big businesses, okay? They'll tell you a lot of things and they end up being complete opposites or just never happening. So you just got to know what to expect. And some people, I fear, don't know how to do that when we're talking about games and stuff. There's probably more, but I'm just in a gaming house talking about gaming shit now, so it is what it is. So just get ready for that. Get your mind ready for that, and it'll be what it'll be. But the Pro, there's no price point yet. I'm sure that'll come out soon enough. And it makes sense that they're going to do the Pro because look, they got the PlayStation 5 Slim now, and that's out. That's going to be out. So they're going to get their money. They're going to make their product and people are going to buy that shit. It's just what it is. People are going to buy it. My son will probably end up getting PlayStation Slim or something like that for next Christmas, PS5 Slim or something, that's probably going to be his next thing. He wants a PlayStation. He's going to want one. So I'm going to have to get him one. Right. And in fact, he was in there literally playing mine in there just now. Okay. And, he got mad because his mom made him get off of it because he was being too loud, because when he gets frustrated in his games, he talks to himself or he talks at the screen, and sometimes he can just overdo it. And, as probably, a lot of these kids tend to do sometimes. And, and that's what happened. So he was kind of mad about that, but it's all good. And I'm going to tell you what he was playing in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, because this game here, guys, I can't even begin to believe in what I'm about to say, but Remnant 2 is a awesome game, and I've been playing it. It actually comes out Tuesday, but you can get it early if you pay $70. So you pay an additional $20. That comes with early access, which I have. And it also comes with 3 DLCs, okay, for that season. So, I went ahead and did it. And my friend went ahead and did it. I knew it was coming. I never played the first game. Let me just say that now. I didn't know that the fan base was so rabid. Their community is so crazy. People love this game. Okay. They loved the first one. And I remember when the first one came out and he was playing that and he was like, man, try out Remnant, whatever. And I was like, I tried it and I wasn't feeling it. I don't know if it was the graphics. I don't know what it was. Now this game is made, this is not a AAA company. This is, a AA company at best. And for whatever they did, they got a lot of people and a lot of fans with the first game. They got them in there, and I love people when that stuff happens. Even if I'm not into that game, I love to see that type of stuff. I love to see companies creating something and then a community loving it so much that they decide to build a community around it, and it grows. And it's crazy. People were still playing the first game to this day, and I just kept seeing it on YouTube, and I kept hearing people talking about it. And, being in the gaming space like I am, you're going to hear about all these type of games, especially, something like this. So it was not going to get past me. So I decided to take a peek behind the curtain, and I said, yo, wait a minute. This game does not look like the last one. And this is still a AA game. The game is only $50. If you ever want to tell how much, what a studio is or what they're doing, look at the prices of their games. Anything between $30 and $50, you're usually going to be a AA studio. Okay. And this game is $50. So if you're going to wait, it comes out Tuesday, definitely pick it up. And it's a great game. And I think the reason why I went ahead and bought it like that and it got to me is because I started watching all the videos. I fell down a rabbit hole and I said, yo, this is crazy. They actually used the Unreal Engine 5 for this. So graphics already are decent, are pretty dope, especially the environments and stuff like that. So the environments are sick. Really appreciate that. And the worlds are humongous. Like I said, I'm a straight noob right now, guys. I have been playing my ass off though. I have been playing my ass off. I'm already at rank 10, which once you do that in the game, you are allowed to adopt another what's the word that they use for it? Another archetype. I think yeah. So I'm going to give you guys a basic explanation of how this game is, like what kind of game it is and all of that. But recently I've been playing Dragon's Dogma, which is, action RPG. And then I've been playing Division 2 with my friends. So Division 2 is a looter shooter. Okay. You go, you get different weapons, you put different pieces of armor together, you make different builds, and you take those builds and you build a team, and you take that team and you go out and try to get more shit. Okay. And it's just, that's the gameplay loop, and it's addictive and it's fun, especially when you have people in your party that play it and are helping you and stuff. So that's why I think it was an easy kind of buy for me in a sense, cause I didn't have anything else to play right now, really major. I was just going to go through my backlog and start knocking those down, which is not, anything wrong with that at all. Please trust me. I should be doing that, and you guys should be doing that too. But this game here was just speaking to me, and I already knew. I said, okay, well, I got one guy that I can play with off top already, and I just went ahead and pushed play on it, man. And I have not. I've been happy ever since. It's been a great experience. Pretty dope game, man. By a AA company, and they're doing big things here. This community is crazy. And I definitely see a Remnant 3 sometime in the future, maybe a few years from now. You'll probably see that. But yeah, definitely pick this up if you're thinking about playing something that kind of resembles like the Division 2, or I don't know what else is out there like that right now, but I'm sure there's some other games. But yeah, if you like the grind of going out and hunting and looting certain things and bosses, and it's definitely not for the faint at heart either. This game is not easy. Okay. I'm going to tell you that now. It's got some Dark Souls blood running through its veins. So don't think you're just going to come out here and, do things and pull out butter on all these enemies. It's not happening. They will probably definitely pull butter out on you. I can promise you that, especially starting out. You're going to get a lot of parquet pulled out on you. You're going to get a lot of country crock, a lot of I can't believe it's not butter. They're pulling out all this shit, and they're going to use it. Okay. So just prepare yourself for that, because it's coming if you want to play this. But most people who play this, who played the first one, they know what to expect. And like I said, I'm a new player and I'm converted. Okay. I'm finally converted. I'm here. So if Remnant ever comes out in the future, I'm definitely picking it up. And like I said, I'm still early in the game, but I'm starting to pick up stuff now. I'm getting items and I'm putting stuff together. I'm getting stronger and I'm really enjoying myself. So it's, I think it's, you can play it solo as well too. And it's not, what I also love about it is you can play it offline. So it's not one of those games like the Division where if the server goes down, you're fucked completely, right? You can't play single player. You can't go solo or anything. Now you can play solo in Division 2, but if the servers are down, nobody's playing shit. Okay. If the servers go down with this game, you're not playing co-op, but you can still go out solo and do your thing. And I've kind of balanced that. I've done like 30% soloing, and then 70% I go and I join people's games and go into these other worlds and get items and do things like that and level up my character. It's fucking awesome. Great experience, man. I don't know what else to say. Loving the game so far. There's a quick breakdown. I think when the game starts, you get 4 different classes to choose from. All right. You got your Challenger, who's kind of like a tank build, and you have a handler, which comes with a pet, a dog, yes, who helps you out. He can heal you. You can sick him on enemies. He's an awesome dog. I just unlocked him last night, early morning. So I'm happy to have him, and I'll be out there trying to upgrade him and get him stronger and get those traits and stuff stronger. But then the next one is Hunter, which I'm also a part of. Hunter is kind of like the character where if you're not trying to be up close and personal, you want to hang back and do damage from a distance with your rifles and stuff like that. This is kind of like the build for you right there. And then there's the medic. Of course, you got to have a healer in the game, and he's that guy. So definitely if you got a healer in your team, you're already on a good track. And then there's more that you actually unlock later on through the story and through the game and quests and doing all that shit. So that's where we're at on that. It's dope. You have the alchemist. You also have the explorer, summoner, and the engineer. So I don't know what none of these guys do. The latter ones, there's a gunslinger in there as well. And he's just, he's good with guns and bullet conservation and all that stuff. So each one brings something different to the table. But what makes this game even cooler is the fact that once you level up, once you pick a class, you say, okay, I'm picking this one of these starting classes, cool. And once you level that class up to level 10, then it opens up another archetype. So you can say, okay, I can add another one. So I can go healer, and then I can have a dog or as a pet, and I can kind of do the handler thing, or I could be the tanky side and do some stuff and take the stuff over there from the tank build and kind of merge them together and kind of make custom shit, right? And then there's rings. So you have 4 ring slots. So there's different rings that drop on from bosses, or you can find in the different worlds. And each ring does something crazy different. Like I picked up one the other day that gives you, I think, 25% more damage if you get hit, and then you take 10% less damage. So I'm definitely putting that on. And then another thing, ammo. You're going to run out of ammo. Sometimes your ammo's going to get real low. And I had found a ring that, hey, you're going to get 25% more ammo, capacity. So I'm really loving that. And the rings are falling like candy out here. So there's going to be so many rings. It's going to be very hard to kind of pick these rings, I think, because you only can pick 4, and there's so many awesome rings, man. And I've been playing long, and I found a gang of nice ones. So that's going to be awesome. You also have a melee weapon as well. So if people get too close, you can pull that out and swing the fuck out of it. There's different types. There's katanas, there's spears, there's big, super swords, one that like Guts from Berserk might wield. There's stuff like that. And you can kind of make a tank build where, you're just meleeing up. You're doing your thing in the melee side, Only thing is, it can't be only melee. You're gonna have to have some sort of firearm or something at some point in time, because a lot of these enemies, almost half of them, I want to say, they are airbound. They have wings, or they fly. They're doing all this shit, right? So you got to have that, but you can make a primary build like that around that. And then, of course, we can soften up the ones that want to be in the air. And then when they come down, go finish them off. However you want to do it, man. I mean, that's the cool thing about these games, the freedom you have to kind of go off and do your own fucking thing and create your own subclass of whatever it is you want to do. And some people may look at you like you're purple or you're on fire, but it doesn't matter. Okay. You can say, well, say what you want, think what you want. This is my build. This is how I play. And when you get out there with these characters, with these other players, you see like, oh man, he's really good, or she's really awesome. I kind of see what they did. I like what they put together. So that's like half the fun with a game like this. And it's only going to get better, man, as you progress and stuff like that. So they're huge. The games are fucking huge. That's all I'll say. And then you have your mods for the weapons. So you can add different mods that give different things to your weapons. It's so much more, but this is what I'm giving you guys right now. It's an amazing game. Right now it's like an 8.5 to me, 8.5, closer to 9, I guess. It's teetering there. And the only reason it's not is because I'm waiting to get a little further in the game, and I want to test out some of these other weapons, because there's a gang of these specialty weapons and these alien weapons, and they do all kind of crazy shit. All right. So you start off very weak, and you're gonna find out the hard way. But then as you progress, you unlock new armor, you unlock new guns and different, all these different things. And you can begin to see where the builds start to come in, and then you start to feel more powerful, and then you're out there fucking going crazy on them. Okay. That's where I want to get, to that point, where I'm running through bosses and shit like that. But yeah, man, right now that's where we're at. It's up to 3 players at one time on the team. So that's cool. I like everything about it. You can stop within your world, and then you can go into somebody else's game, or you can keep yours open. And if you're in there solo and just doing missions, they'll indicate, hey, Chester 9292 is in your party. Okay. So when you go to your next checkpoint, it will bring them in the game. So it's a lot of cool shit, man. Definitely. I ran with some people the other night, and I had a blast. We weren't in a party or anything. It was just some random guys ran out there, man. We was running through these streets and getting things, man. And it was great. And I loved it. And I think you guys should experience it as well. Okay. This podcast is going to be short, guys. I'm going to cut it. now, because that's my show. I mean, I have nothing else to discuss with you guys. I've been pretty much playing this since it came out. And that's it. No anime watch list because I hadn't had a chance to watch the anime I said I was going to watch now, which is not a bad thing for me anyway, technically, because that just means it's one more anime episode to binge when the time is right. Okay. If you guys know me, if you're new to the show, I'm not a big fan on watching shows weekly if I don't have to. All right. I'd rather let them stack up and then watch them like that because it's just a better experience for me. And, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, which is typically an episode on the anime, Crunchyroll app. That's what you get, and I think I just want a little bit more. So that's why I haven't played that or watched that. I've been playing so many games. It's just been ridiculous. I don't think I've played this many games this long in quite some time, but hey, I'm not complaining. Okay. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for listening, streaming, downloading, however you consume the show. Thank you very much. If you're new, I hope to see you next week. I hope you join the family. We do the same bat time, same bat channel every Monday. You can catch this podcast. And if there's, for whatever reason, there won't be one, I definitely give you guys a heads up somehow, whether it's through tweeting, whether it's through Instagram, or whether it's through me just making a short recording and giving it to you guys when you log on to try to download the show. Okay, so definitely support all my outlets, guys. Random Gameplay Pimpin on YouTube, on TikTok. My Dragon Ball fans, check out DragonBallDrip.com and also check us out on Instagram and on TikTok as well. So many things in the air working on. It's just going down. So with that being said, I bid you guys adieu. I will see you next Monday. And we'll get into some more gangster shit, okay? This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.